Running.
Bobby got it.
We're Hassani and Danielle Pettiford, and we're a real couple with real problems who almost called it quits.
I was very frustrated. I became very disconnected, very jaded and cold.
We have 4 children, going on 20 years of marriage, and we practice what we preach.
Our mission, to change the way couples relate to one another and teach them the skills needed to improve the quality of their relationships. This is the Couples Academy Show.
Well, good morning, folks. You are watching the Couples Academy Show, Ask the Experts. I am Roland Bradley, and I have the most intellectual Jeff Witt and the most sophisticated Lakeisha Hines sharing with us on this morning to answer your questions. And so please drop your questions in the comment section and do not wait until the last minute to get those questions in, so that way we can get those questions answered comprehensively and make sure that everyone is on point. How are you guys doing this morning?
Doing good.
Great.
Doing good. Keisha coming on looking all sophisticated, making us look bad. You got t-shirts on.
Well, listen, it is freezing cold here in Georgia. I don't know what the weather is where you guys are, but please be careful if you are in this area because it is cold. So listen, we want to make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the Couples Academy Show. We are here Monday through Friday to answer, to be of support, to be of help, to be able to meet you where you are in your relationship and in your individual growth. So listen, guys, we don't have any questions at the moment, but do you have anything particular on your minds that you've been pondering on lately?
I've been pondering on this Foundry experience. I'm just looking forward to getting it done. If you guys aren't able to go to this, obviously it's already sold out. I want you to know that we do have a new Foundry class starting in February. So definitely take a look at getting involved in that. Reach out to us, whether you got a call, go to the website, whatever you need to do. Let us know if you're wanting. I know there's another Unearthed coming up soon as well.
Yes, in January, I believe. It kicks off in January. Listen, folks, these are individual groups dedicated to all things men, all things women, to help you find the best version of yourself. And so you want to tap into these resources, tap into these programs, so that way you can get all that you need. You can have a safe place and an outlet to be able to explore who you are and find out your purpose for this life. I'm looking forward to the Foundry experience as well. It is not a retreat by far. It will definitely be an experience. How you doing, Lakeisha? How has everything been going?
Man, all is well. All is well. I'm like prepping for Christmas Day. I was like a baking fool yesterday. And today there will be more baking going on. So the house is smelling like cinnamon and sugar and all types of good stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward for this holiday. And actually, it's going to be like a laid back holiday. Like there's not a lot of company coming. I miss my family, but at the same time, I'm like, cool. I'll catch you like on the flip side because it's going to be real quiet around my house. So I'm happy about that. How about you? I know Janella is going to be throwing down for Christmas. I already know this.
Well, I believe she will be. We will be traveling, headed out tomorrow. So we're going to be in between places. So I don't know what that looks like, but I will leave it up to her. I know she does well all the time, so I am not worried about it. So we shall see. It'll be Christmas surprise for me as well. So we're looking forward to it. Hey, listen, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back on the other side, we will be answering your questions that you have. So make sure you drop them in the comments so that we can get to them before the show ends. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Couples Academy app. The Couples Academy app is your go-to hub for how to do marriage right. Get started with our app today by perusing our amazing features that conveniently allow you to connect. This app is packed with powerful content and resources to help you grow and stay connected. With this app, you can watch our messages, find marriage resources, watch, listen, and read the real-life stories of restored couples, sign up for events, read articles and blog posts, stay up to date with push notifications, Share your favorite messages via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or email, and download messages for offline listening. For more information about the Couples Academy app, go to couplesacademy.org.
Welcome back, folks. You're watching the Couples Academy show, Ask the Experts, and we are here to answer your questions. You just saw that commercial for the Last Chance Weekend. We just had an amazing Last Chance Weekend. The last one for the year here in December, but the next one is coming up in January, the second weekend of January, January 13th through the 15th. And you need to come and start the year off right. Get your whole life together, you and your spouse, and make sure that you do life the right way. I do want to look at this one comment from Miss Deborah. She said, "Thank you all so much. We appreciate all your time. You have helped make our relationship so much more enriched. After 38 years of marriage, we were definitely complacent and not focused on each other. Amazing testimonies time and time again. When you call us, when you reach out, make your discovery call, we are here to help you." So let's jump into these questions, folks. We have one from Camille. I'll have you jump in on this one, Jeff, and then you, Lakeisha. She says, "My husband wants me to delete all evidence I have. Hard for me to let go. What are your thoughts on this?"
So that's really going to depend on where you guys are at. So I've seen both sides of this. I've seen where the person hasn't gone through the whole disclosure process properly, hasn't done everything, is trying to get rid of that evidence so that you're not looking at it anymore, so they can just kind of blast by and not have to deal with anything. If you've been through a full disclosure process that's been mediated, because like people engage in what we call the trickle truth, you hear that all the time here. If you've been through a proper disclosure process and that's been mediated, and you've got every question answered, and you're still holding on to the evidence after you decided to move on, and you guys have had some time to reconcile, and you've been holding on to it, and you keep going back to it, using it as a way to get yourself into I would definitely get rid of it in that case. So it really just depends on where you're at. What do you think, Keisha?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you, Jeff. I think I'll just kind of to add on a little bit more to what you said is holding on to that evidence does nothing but keep you stuck. And what it does is it causes you to keep replaying everything that took place, everything that you saw over and over and over again. And all that's going to do is increase your triggers. So again, like Jeff said, if you've already gone through that full disclosure process, then I don't see the need. I don't see the purpose of holding on to that because I think it's going to do more harm than good. So I say let it go.
A lot of times we hold on to things that keep us trapped in the moment of the past, right? We put cement blocks on ourselves and we can't move forward because we're holding on to the things that have hurt us. And to your point, Lakeisha, they become these triggers that we hold on to that we keep replaying over and over and over again. So the best thing to do will be to let go of that evidence, let yourself open up to the possibilities of all things new, so that way you can heal and grow together through the process. The next question we have from Tiffany, she says, what would you suggest to help deal with a new divorce during the holidays? My ex-husband didn't want to get the help and had given up, so I agreed to the divorce. What you say, Lakeisha?
I mean, it sounds like you didn't really want the divorce, but because he wasn't willing to do the work, you kind of went along with it. So, Tiffany, are you having regrets about moving forward? Are you feeling like you should have fought a little bit harder for the marriage? I mean, ultimately, you guys are now divorced, and so you're trying to deal with what for the holidays? The loss of the marriage? Like, are you reflecting on memories that you guys shared during the holidays? If that's the case, then I would say it's time to start making some new memories, because if he's not a part of your life like that anymore, you guys are divorced, then you got to start some new traditions. I don't know if you have kids together or not. So that makes it tricky. I don't know if you guys have an agreement. Again, if there are children, if you have an agreement where he gets the kids one Christmas, you get them the next Christmas, or if you guys are still trying to do a joint Christmas together right after the divorce, that's really hard. That's really hard because it paints this picture that we're still one big happy family, and that is not reality. So if you guys do have children and you're saying it's a new divorce, I think you guys are going to have an arrangement where if you're in the same city together, maybe they're with you in the morning and him in the afternoon, or vice versa, but doing everything all together as a family, I think it's just doing more harm than good. I don't know. What about you, Jeff?
So she has no children with him, as she said before, but she
Oh,
didn't
you
want
know
the
her?
divorce. No, I'm just reading her comment that she wrote later at the
Oh,
bottom.
okay.
But at the end
Okay.
of the day, so here's the deal, and I understand you and her son are close. You really need to just focus on being around family and loved ones this holiday, and just like really open yourself up to not thinking about you're going to have that the whole divorce to think about for the rest of your life while you're trying to figure things out. But during the holidays, it becomes especially painful if that becomes your focal point. You should really just open up to try to get around family and loved ones. If you got to get on a plane and go somewhere, I know it's last minute, but go somewhere. Just be with people you love, that you know, that care about you, and surround yourself in that love and joy, and just try to keep focused on them. I usually find that for most people that when I'm trying to help them, that one of the best things to do when you're hurting and it's something you have no control over is help someone else. So if you put your love, care, and attention into helping someone else, you'll find that you can replace that joy by giving someone else a little bit of joy.
Absolutely, absolutely. It is something that we have to. We always given so much of ourselves to others, and sometimes you are forced in a position to take care of yourself. And it seems like that may be the case. Surround yourself by those people that love you and you love, to help get you through this time. We have another question from Denise Smith. She says, what are some practical tools to help grieve after betrayal of PISD is still an issue? What you say, Lakeisha?
That's Jeff all day long.
Okay, so
That is a
PISD
Jeff
and
question.
PTSD are very, very similar, Denise. Hi, Denise. I will say that these are very similar. And when I'm dealing with soldiers, it's crazy because when they're downrange and they're actually on mission, they don't have PTSD. When they come home and they have time to sit down and think about how the world is different than what they thought it was, all of a sudden it attacks them. I think that's pretty much the same. There's some similarities between the PTSD and PISD that come into play, because people get PTSD from multiple things. I would say you really need to dive into something bigger than yourself that you can become a part of. And if you can do that with your spouse, that's going to help create a bond, because all of us are always focused on me, 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 me. And I'm not saying anyone's being selfish, but when you're in pain, what do? If my arm is hurting, I'm thinking about my arm. And if they're hurting, they're thinking about them as well. And I know our children are cause bigger than ourselves, but we've kind of gotten used to that. What I'm saying is, if you can come up with a bigger goal that is greater than yourself that you want to achieve together, it allows you to work towards that goal and build intimacy around the new adventure. And that answers a couple other people's questions too. The new adventure is how you reconnect. The new adventure together is how you reconnect. Now, it doesn't help you get past all the things, and definitely doesn't help you get by every single trigger. But if you both have some kind of passion together that you're working hard on, something that doesn't involve sex or any of those other things, but something that you're really, really passionate about together, you'll find that the intimacy comes back slowly because that's where it started in the first place.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have another question. I want you to answer, Lakeisha. It says, "How do you respect your husband after he cheats?" You're muted.
Sorry, you guys. That is such a process, right? It is a complete process that you do have to go through. But I will say this: it begins with a made up mind, right? You first have to make a decision and decide that it's what you're going to do. Because once you make that up in your mind, then the rest of you will follow. But there do need to be certain things in place. Jeff's favorite word, certainty, right? You need that certainty that, you guys are definitely on a new path toward healing, and that he's showing up, he's doing the work, he's being consistent. And his actions are aligning with his words. And so, once you have all of those things in place, obviously you guys going through a healing journey and process, then I think as long as he's showing up and he's doing the work, that it's only right for you to give him that respect that he deserves. But it all starts with a made up mind, because the mind is the thing that prevents us from moving forward in the first place. The mind tells us he doesn't deserve my respect. He lost my respect, when he stepped out and he cheated. The mind tells us all these things. So you got to start with a made up mind first. And then, of course, go through that journey of healing and transformation. And like I said, just watch and see that he is doing what he says that he's going to do, and he's being consistent with it.
What you say, Jeff?
I think it's literally a situation. It's almost Pavlov's dogs. He's going to have to get trained into good behavior, and you respect and reward him with a doggy treat when he does the right things. And I hate to treat men like that, but the truth of the matter is, I don't know who your person is, if this is something that was caused because of lots of fighting and tension, or if he was just running out and being scandalous. But here's the deal. Whoever went out and did those things needs to become accountable. They need to live a life of discipline and pattern. And that pattern recognition, as you notice that pattern is becoming more and more true, then you can respect that. The word respect means to go back, re-inspect, which means deals with vision or sight. So respect is just going back and take a look at him. So here's the thing. When he wants respect, say, let me take a look at you, and we'll see if I can respect you or not.
That was good, Jeff. I like that. We have another question from Renee Hanley. She says, what do you do when your partner doesn't see your effort or work you're putting in on yourself, but continues to point out all the things you continue to fall short on? So I'm not sure, what's going on or what effort is being put in, but a lot of times what we don't do is we don't give our spouses grace to grow in a new area that they're in. Yes, they have fallen short. Yes, they have done wrong, but you have to be able to give your spouse a level of grace to grow beyond the affair, beyond the infraction that has been caused. But a lot of times things happen, and then we want immediate results, or we want it to be as though it never happened, when there's a process to rebuild, a process to rebuild trust, a process to rebuild a relationship, a process to rebuild ourselves. And you have to give that level of space, and it has to be safe in order to allow that to flourish. But a lot of times we take a dead horse and we keep beating and beating and beating, and we don't give it a chance to heal. And then we wonder why things aren't progressing, are not moving like they should be. But what do you guys think?
I think at the end of the day, there's a lot more complexity to the situation than what we're looking at here. I mean, what do you do when your partner doesn't see your effort? Sometimes I've seen this where people say that they're putting in effort and they're doing all this work, and the truth of the matter is they're doing all the wrong things. sometimes, like I have a lot of guys in my groups that think that they're doing the right thing, and if their wife, no, that's not what I need. That's not what I want. And communication is not about what you're putting out; it's about what the other person's able to receive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of it. The other part, when you're talking about, that they're pointing out the things that you fall short on, we all act like we walked into relationships whole. Most of us walked into relationships broken. This could be classic displacement. They could be pointing all our things out wrong in you that they're actually seeing in themselves, and they just have never dealt with that pain. My thing for you guys is just that you go get some help. Like, this is definitely a situation where one person feels criticized and the other person's on the attack. And if that's the whole story, without listening to both sides, then what you need is to learn how to communicate and learn how to grow in the relationship so that you can actually get where you need to go over time. But most of us walk into relationships broken, and we have to. The key to your marital transformation is, the key to your marital. Whoa, I'm slipping today.
Transformation to your marital restoration is your personal transformation. You sent it to me, Jeff. You sent it to me. Listen, I just wanted to say, for that particular couple, seriously, why are you doing what it is that you're doing? Are you doing this because you are trying to be recognized by your spouse? Are you doing it for your spouse, or are you working on yourself for you? Because if you're working on yourself for your spouse, it's not going to work, right? And they're not going to see it. It needs to be that you are working on yourself because you recognize that there was something in you that you were dissatisfied with, or wasn't working for you. And then that's why you're doing what you're doing. So my question is about your motive and your intent. And as long as your motive and your intent are good, then you're consistent, then your partner will begin to see what it is that you have going on and look at it from a different light. But let's shout out the people who are in the building today. What is up, Team Smith, Cali Power Couple, Camille, Christina, and Deborah, Tiffany, Kenny, Denise, Misha. Did I say Deborah? I did. Michelle, Cedarland, Renee. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Chef Spawn, we appreciate you guys tuning in every single week. Glad you're here.
Thank you for shouting those folks out. Hey, listen, we're still taking your questions. Make sure you drop them in the comment section. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll see you in just a minute. Welcome back, folks. You're watching the Couples Academy show. We're happy to have you all with us. I have a question for you, Lakeisha, from the Cali Power Couple. It says, what's the best approach to building emotional intimacy for the betrayed and sexual intimacy for the former unfaithful after infidelity? Hitting snags on our two different sex drives.
There's actually a continuation of that. Optimal number is
Yeah.
4+, mine is 2, but there are some health factors in addition to
the emotional pain I still feel. Yeah, shout out Cali Power Couple. Good to see you guys here. So here's the thing. With the emotional intimacy, it's really important that you guys are spending time connecting. Especially since, you, the betrayed, have the lower number. You have the lower number. I think you even went on to say later on that if the emotional, you said if there was more stability in our emotional intimacy, I believe our numbers would be more balanced. And I agree with you 100%, because there's still a disconnect there. And if you're still feeling as if you're not being fulfilled emotionally, then it will impact you physically. So, one of the things that we talked about when we were together is that you guys may need to begin engaging in outer course, and you need to be doing that more than you're doing intercourse. And that's going to be very powerful for you because it's going to take the pressure off of you as the betrayed to feel as if you have to perform. And it's really just about you guys connecting. And it's also your partner is showing restraint, and he's showing that what you want and what you need is as important to him as getting his own needs met. And desire discrepancy is common in couples. I mean, this is nothing new where you have one whose numbers way high, they have a really high libido, and then they're married to someone with a lower libido. Nothing wrong with either one of you. It's just different. But I do believe that you guys will be in a greater alignment if you work on those other issues, which is connecting outside of the bedroom. And
That's
also, you got to do some work too, sis, because I know your business. So, you got to do some work, sis, and really moving past all of those thoughts that come up in your head about your husband, all the negative thoughts. You're going to have to keep working to push those negative thoughts out of your mind to replace them with positive thoughts, because he is showing up and he's doing the work. This man like literally is worshiping you. So you got to replace those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. And like I said, work more on outer course versus intercourse.
And a lot of times you're in your Enneagrams and you're like, oh, I'm a 6, so I'm this and I'm that.
And
you have
she
a
is.
wing,
She is.
And your wing, you're a true 6. Trust me. Like, we know each other. So like, you're my wife, basically. Like, you're the same exact person. You guys we're going to be best friends if you ever meet. But the truth of the matter is you have that 7. Study that 7, engage that 7. And that's what things are. I believe you're 6'7", right? If you have that 7 in you, that's where the fun's going to come out. So like, play into your adventurous self. You guys need to plan more, like she says, outer course, and do more things together. Just become adventurous with it. That's and it doesn't have to be crazy. It could be like, when was the last time you did a picnic? Something simple where you actually just sat and talked, listened to music, did some fun things together that you used to do when you were young. As we get older, we tend to stop doing all those things that really cause the connection in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And these are things that are non-threatening. They're not anywhere near a bedroom. So, you can feel free to let go a little bit. And that's what you really need to do. I know part of it's opening back up your heart, but if you could just have fun together, I think you guys find that it happens naturally.
Yeah.
Yes. And a lot of times we have to flush out the old so that we can pour in some new things. When you go get an oil change, they put it up. They put it up on the rack and they flush it out. They have to flush out anything that may still be left. They clean it all out. They let everything just drip out, right? It flushes out. They put the cap on it and then they pour in some new things, and that's what we have to do with our relationships. When we feel like that outer course part or that inner course is kind of struggling, we have to go to that outer course and do some things to revitalize, rejuvenate some areas. So that way, by the time we come back, it can be more, it'll be more special, right? It'll be more on point.
6 wing 5.
6 wing 5.
More difficult. A little more difficult. There's some work right there. Okay.
I thought she was a 5. I thought so, 6'5", but I was like, oh, maybe I forgot. But
just realize that your parallel forward is a 9. right? So you're when you're not stressed out, you're a peacemaker. And so look at some of the good qualities of that and try to embrace those, because the good qualities of a 9 are absolutely marvelous. And still go have some fun and adventure, because 9s have great personalities too.
Yes, we do. Absolutely. 9s have great personalities.
We got one right here. Look at that smile.
Hey, listen, guys, you've been watching the Couples Academy show, Ask the Experts. We want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Jeff. Merry Christmas, Lakeisha. And Merry Christmas to our CA family. We want you all to be safe and enjoy family, love, laugh, and live. We'll see you on the next run. Have a great weekend.